Well, hello, everyone. Hello, I am Jessie Bowen here with my partner in success, Nathan Ray. Hey, Nathan, what's going on?
Hey, happy New Year all over again this week. It's
Oh,
been a whole
man,
week since our first show.
I know, man. So much has been happening. Woo! Wow. You know,
20
someone had,
2026 is not slow, right?
well, I really learned something this week I didn't know. I tell
Okay.
everyone, there's I know everything. you know, Hunchy knows everything. And everyone, again, my name is Jessie Bowen, and again, life success coach, goal success coach. I'm here with Nathan Ray, martial artist, success coach, you know, uh, uh, content creator of his own courses on personal development training. And, we're both really dedicated to make a difference in 2026 to help people or anyone to move to that next level. And why not? It's just information. So if I've done something and it's made me better, why not share it with someone else, maybe to make them better? And that's the reason why we write. This show is actually sponsored by Elite Publications. You can go to our website, which is www.elitepublications.org. If you're interested in publishing a book, sharing a story, empowering the world through your experience, then the best way to be able to do that is to be able to publish a book. And speaking about that, I've got a book out, but Nathan's working on a book that should be coming out very shortly. So
Yeah.
let's share with everyone from the author perspective. Now, don't go anywhere. You might be tempted to go ahead and click that button and move past us, but we got something very important. As I said before, I actually learned something this week and I didn't know, but it makes sense to me. So, Nate, I know we talked about your working on that project. So how's that going for your new book?
Yes, you might have seen me yawning just a second ago, and that's because I was burning the midnight oil last night on
Third
the
shift,
on the
third shift.
yes, third shift all the way. And but no, it's been great. The process is smooth. I always enjoy our time together because like you said, you get to press the easy button. So I'm always being edified with some ways to really jump in and really produce something that's going to be helpful for the world. I mean, the fact that we can get together and have this time and to have those that will watch us and that we can share our accumulated years of knowledge. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm excited about it. This project's going really good so far, so great.
Well, the journeyman is, now into his third week of kicking off, and people are contacting me, asking me questions about the journaling and all of that. And we get so hooked into the visualization part. This weekend, don't forget, everyone, we have a vision board going on. You can go to my Facebook page, Jessie Bowen, on Facebook, and you can go ahead and register. The event is free. I have Tawanza Pollard. She's going to be one of our guests. She is a John Maxwell coach, and she's also has written a wonderful book. And so we're going to have the opportunity to work together and share with you. So, Nathan, I guess I'll
Yeah.
tell you the big thing I've learned this week, and that is being overbound, and that is that having that visionary, saturation. That means, what does that mean? We talk about, and now you've heard me say that I'm a visionary. I close my eyes, I see it, I get up and I go do it. What happens a lot of times is that we get burned out. I mean, there's so many visions there that we've got too many ideas, no matter how good you are and how much you want to be able to move forward. The problem is that all those ideas and concepts, and you're a visionary, you're very creative. And I have had someone to talk, complimenting me, going, "Man, you're such a visionary. You got all these visions, these ideas." And I had a dream, and I woke up the next morning, and it was God speaking to me, and it says, and the voice said, God gives you vision, So it was like, don't you claim to have anything? And I wrote the book. That is the title of the book. God gives me vision. And so this week, as I was going through some things on Monday, and doing self-evaluation, and what came to me was that you can be now visionary saturated or section. And so that means that you've just got too many ideas that's in your head. You feel like you're behind, even, while, you're accomplishing a lot, you still feel like you're behind, you're spiritually fatigued, you're physically exhausted. You have the sense of, that you're almost there, but you just cannot click that next place, and you're burnt out. And that's a part of it. So that is that when you have that visionary saturation, that means two things going on. Have you ever had that happen to you?
That's why I'm grinning. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if you go back and read Napoleon Hill's book, one of the ideas he has in there is it's about proper planning, and in that, it speaks to the need for, we have these I'm a creative, so these ideas are coming left and right, and what I've worked on is to become disciplined, and like Napoleon Hill said, have a plan, have an organized plan, be organized with these ideas. So what I did was I went to Chat GPT and I created a project just to be able, when I had that idea, to speak it and let it hold that place in Chat GPT. I can go back to that when it's time to focus on one of them. So using technology and using and applying discipline to myself, because I don't want to stop the creative flow, but at the same time, like you said, it's almost like a circuit breaker. If you get too much juice going to it, the circuit breaker is going to pop, and then you're off balance. So maintaining a proper balance is my big thing right now, and I'm having fun with kind of taking a step back. Like you said, we're in the winter time now, and what I told one of my classes is, hey, be in harmony with nature. We're in winter now. That's a time where you can look at yourself. You can kind of reevaluate where you are, and then as spring rolls out, you're ready to really start off running. Most people start the new year off running, and they're trying to, pound in this, hey, it's new year, yeah. But in nature, everything's kind of slowed down. So I'm working to be in harmony with nature, keeping that constant review of myself and all those ideas in a central place. And I guess the last piece that I've been working on is really getting back to the mastery of using my tools, using technology. When I say technology, I don't mean AI, I mean my calendar, making sure I have a master calendar and I keep organized. And that way I can control my pace and do things one thing at a time.
Well, and what you really have to do is to get okay within yourself that, you are allowed to pause without losing momentum. So you don't have to be.
How do you do that? That's a good one. How do you pause and not lose momentum? That's awesome. How do you do that?
When number one is to realize that you got a problem, and you start now backing away from it, because if I'm not able to see my hand if it's up here in my face, so if I now move my hand away from my face, I can see it. So that you have to meditate, finding that space, and you don't have to meditate on anything, because the meditation is just really about learning to empty yourself so you can replace yourself. So you can pause and not move. And a lot of times, remember, you're standing too close to the situation. So therefore, you're not able to find the answers. So you're locked in struggle.
Right.
Because you cannot.
So that's where you get paralyzed. You get paralyzed, right? That paralysis. Yeah,
Right.
that happens, and you spoke to that a moment ago, but that's so true. When you get so many creative things happening and firing at once, it's almost like you're paralyzed.
Yeah, because you're not able to see what you're really doing. You got all these creative things, going on, and I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and there are about 10 things you're doing at once, and that's what I did for myself this week. We're in Atlantic City at the end of the month, releasing a book. Two books were released in Atlantic City. We got a magazine, and I've got all these things coming at me, and they all have to be done. And I'm sort of sitting in the middle, directing traffic here. And then I've got the books and stuff for other people that we're publishing. I've got to get all that stuff done, and I have a great team. So learning to delegate, but being able to step away, because when I stepped away this week, I was allowed to see what was the most important thing and what had the most value that I could focus on to be able to do that. So that's really what you're willing to do, is to be able to step away, go for a walk, get up, move around, just back away from everything, and then reevaluate it, from a subconscious level, closing your eyes and meditating on it and bringing that stuff in. Take a look at it, put it to the side. Take a look at it, put it to the side. Take a look at it, put it to the side. And now determine which is the most valuable part that you need to work on, because you may have a high goal that you want to achieve, but those little things are actually blocking you from actually hitting those things.
Yeah, well, I mean, and Hanshi, I mean, you have a super, I call it a rare superpower. I always say, we talk one week and I blink and whatever we were talking about is here. You've already manifested it. So I don't, with everything that you have going on, I think the average person could have half of that and be paralyzed. But what I see from you is you have it going on, but then you're actually taking action. So where's that line of demarcation between, I guess you would just have even more than the average person that would cause you to have to step away, because you're one of the most productive people I know.
Well, and what you have to realize that I'm blessed to have great people around me. All I have to do is, my wife will tell you, I don't work, so I got great people around me.
That's a special skill.
Yeah, Pastor will tell you, he ain't doing no work. He'll go hire someone to come in, but he's not physical. Oh no, he's not doing that. But that line is in what I'm learning. So I'm learning something now. Instead of the go, I'm learning to evaluate. And so when I started that 2 days ago, what I discovered was the thing that was the most important that I could do with the maximum impact around what my goals are. And right. So that's what I discovered. So instead of focusing on everything, it allowed me to go back. Number one is something I want to do, and I can focus on that. But it's important, and it also has value. But that's sort of my thing this weekend of this week of just realizing that I got a goal setting class coming up. Doing meditation, doing visualization, doing all this training, and you're just there's so many visions there of things that could be done. You get overwhelmed with it, and that's what I've discovered this week. And so that's what my tip is this week for everyone, is to take a look at how many things you have going on. Sit down, pen and paper, meditate, visualize it. And now see, are you doing the right thing? Is there something else that has more value that you can do? And we have that tendency to do the easy things first. But what is that you can do that will bring you more value?
I like that.
Any tip from you this week?
Well, I mean, I just to reiterate what you just said, I like what you just said, which is, in your evaluation, you are identifying what is in harmony. Some like the common word today is you being in alignment, basically, with what you want to do. I like that. For me, I think a tip is, well, I'm doing my class, Thinking in the Mastery. We have our last session coming up, and this 5 week session has been on from consciousness to clarity. And so, when I guess my tip would be is like you said, take that reflective moment, meditate. I meditate every day. I have a meditation. I do at least one session a day, and it's a moment, like you said, to slow it down. I guess this would be my tip: slow down to speed up. Sometimes you need to subtract instead of to keep adding things on top of the pile, like you said earlier. So slow down to speed up.
Yeah, and everyone, if you're following us, message us if you have a question about what
Yeah,
you can do to be productive in 2026. What is you can do to get yourself grounded, and what is that you can do that you know you can have a better life,
that's
because a
right.
lot of times even in sickness and things that's happening is a lot of times it's from the inside out, not from the outside in. So this is that great time to take a look at our overall, how do we feel and how do we now come back and bring all those things together, that we can have a better life, that we can share a better life with someone. So that's
Yes, sir.
very important for us to do.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's gold. That's a gold nugget. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your discovery this week. That's
Yeah.
gonna, that's always good to have that reflection and minds coming together, sharing. And that's one thing I liked about one of our conversations. You were sharing, hey, I'm about to step in. I'm gonna step into my journeyman session because I wrote this so I would be doing it. So
Right.
you're sharing your practice basically, and that allows others to get the benefit as well. So that's
Well,
a powerful.
I was talking with an author. I think it was the day before yesterday. Then that person is doing some training programs, and they were saying, "Well, I just, I'm doing the class." I said, "Well, let me go back and reread my book." And she was saying that, you know, yeah,
They
but
look
this,
at you like you wrote the book, dude. You know
yeah,
everything in there. No, come on.
well, but see the thing with this. Remember, I said I know all things, but the thing was sometimes is revisiting, and that's
Yeah.
the reason why the Journeyman is on audio, is an audio
Hmm.
book, and to listen to it, and I get something out of it every time I go back and listen to it, because when you're right and you're inspired to write, you're writing from that one place, that one day, and
Right.
that other time goes behind you, and so it's good for you to come back
That's
and
right.
read your stuff, make sure you're using
Yeah.
your own stuff and be able to do that. So that's what I've been trying to really work on with the journeyman, is to go back in, do those lessons, become inspired. I even asked myself, where did that come from?
Yeah.
you
Those
know
are the goodies. Those are the goodies.
you
Yeah.
say,
Well, I mean, well, that's wonderful because in truth, like you just said, it's coming from an inspired place, and but your conscious place is a little different than that place. So going back and reviewing, that's why I know some people, I forget what they have different kind of characteristics that they categorize. Some people are very detailed and they like lists and they take copious notes. But my question to those people is always this: that if they're in my class and they're focused on their notes and everything, say, okay, you're taking all these notes. Now, show me on your calendar where you have time set aside to review it and read it on a regular basis. Invariably, probably 98% take the notes and never look at them again. It's good. It's good practice for the brain to write. However, if you really want to get the value, it's like what you're saying. Go back and if you write it, read it. If you take notes, go back and have a time to review it. So, A lot of
you're exactly right. So everyone, so this week, coming up, today's is actually Tuesday for us, and we, if you listen, follow our programs. There's those little tidbits in there that you can pick up and you can utilize for that. Don't forget, we got a vision board class coming up. It's a virtual vision board class coming up this weekend. Check it out. Join us. Remember, when you're around, motivated people, you become more motivated. So remember, check us out, follow us, and hang out. So any last words for you?
Just gratitude. Thank you all for tuning in, and stay plugged in. Stay plugged in and help us to create this. Like Hanchi said, send us a message. What you want to get into, we want it to be relevant. We want it to matter. And so if you share what you got going on, it helps us to create for you all.
All right, everyone, be blessed. Remember, this program is sponsored by Elite Publications. Everyone has a story. You have to get it out. Remember, visit the website, www.elitepublications.org. So remember, check it out, message us, let us know how we can help you. Be blessed.
From surviving the journey to living it on purpose, there comes a moment when you realize, I can't keep living like this. You feel the pull to change, to grow, to walk closer with God, but you need a clear next step. The Journeyman is a 30-day guide to help you do exactly that. Blending faith, life experience, and practical mindset coaching, Dr. Jessie Bowen walks with you through honest daily readings, key principles, and reflection exercises that help you break cycles of fear, doubt, and procrastination. Hear God's direction in everyday decisions. Turn past pain and failure into wisdom and strength. Build habits that align your life with God's purpose. This is more than a devotional. It's a daily transformation workbook to help you think differently and live differently over the next 30 days. Your story isn't finished. Your next